forensics! Where's the girl? White, I have this under control. Put the weapon down. Here's the girl!
L.A. Confidential 1997 is one of the greatest neo-noir films ever made, earning critical acclaim and 2 Academy Awards. Its twisting story of crime, corruption, and Hollywood glamour made it a modern classic. But what happened behind the scenes was just as fascinating and sometimes downright weird. From casting battles to unexpected influences, strange studio decisions, and bizarre on-set moments, this film's journey to the big screen is full of surprises. Today, we'll uncover weird facts about L.A. Confidential that will make you see this Oscar-winning movie in a whole new light. The book was considered unfilmable. Before L.A. Confidential became a hit movie, many believed James Ellroy's sprawling novel was impossible to adapt. The book is over 500 pages long, packed with dozens of subplots and characters. The weird part? Director Curtis Hanson and screenwriter Brian Helgeland trimmed most of it, focusing on just 3 main detectives. Hanson created detailed character backstories for the actors to understand what had been cut. Despite skepticism, their streamlined version worked so well, it won the Academy Award for Best Adapted Screenplay. What was once thought unfilmable became one of the best book-to-film adaptations of the 1990s. Kevin Spacey modeled his character on Dean Martin. Jack Vincennes, played by Kevin Spacey, oozed Hollywood charm as a police officer deeply connected to celebrity culture. The weird part? Spacey based his performance on legendary entertainer Dean Martin. He studied Martin's style, speech patterns, and effortless charisma to bring authenticity to the role. Spacey even spent time with Ellroy to understand Vincennes better, but the Martin influence shaped much of his smooth, cool persona. This choice gave Vincennes a glamorous, almost movie star quality that contrasted sharply with the film's darker tone, making his character one of the most memorable and stylish in the movie. Russell Crowe and Guy Pearce were virtually unknown. When Russell Crowe and Guy Pearce were cast, most American audiences had no idea who they were. Both actors were relatively unknown in Hollywood, having worked primarily in Australian films and television. The weird part? The studio initially pushed for bigger names, but Curtis Hanson insisted on fresh faces, so the audience wouldn't bring preconceived notions about the characters. Crowe bulked up to play the tough Bud White, while Pearce sharpened his clean-cut image for Ed Exley. Their breakout performances launched their Hollywood careers, proving Hanson's gamble was right. Both became international stars soon afterward. Kim Basinger's role was originally much smaller. Kim Basinger's performance as Lynn Bracken earned her the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, but her role was almost cut down significantly. The weird part? Early drafts gave her very little screen time, focusing mainly on the 3 detectives. Director Curtis Hanson expanded her part, recognizing the emotional balance she brought to the story. Basinger studied the 1950s Hollywood lifestyle extensively to embody Lynn's grace and vulnerability. Her expanded role not only deepened the plot, but also provided the film's emotional heart. Without those changes, Basinger might not have delivered her career-defining performance. Danny DeVito nearly didn't get cast. Danny DeVito played Sid Hudgens, the slimy tabloid journalist who thrives on Hollywood gossip. However, the studio initially worried about casting him. The weird part? Executives feared audiences wouldn't take DeVito seriously in a noir drama, given his reputation for comedic roles. Curtis Hanson fought to keep him, believing DeVito could bring the perfect blend of sleaze and charm. His performance ended up being so iconic that many fans consider Sid Hudgens one of the most entertaining characters in the film. It was proof that DeVito's talent went far beyond comedy, cementing his versatility as an actor. The set design was painstakingly accurate. The film's recreation of 1950s Los Angeles was astonishingly detailed. Production designer Jeanine Opawal went to great lengths to make every location feel authentic. The weird part? Some sets were so convincing that locals thought old Hollywood landmarks had been restored. The team tracked down period-appropriate furniture, costumes, and even vintage magazines. Cars from the 1950s were borrowed from collectors across California. The result was a city that felt like a time capsule, immersing audiences completely in the noir atmosphere. This obsessive attention to detail helped the film become one of the most visually stunning period pieces ever. James Ellroy loved the movie version. Authors often dislike film adaptations of their work, but James Ellroy was surprisingly thrilled with LA Confidential. The weird part? Despite massive cuts to his sprawling story, Ellroy praised the film as one of the best adaptations of his novels. He especially admired how Hanson and Helgeland captured the moral essence of his book, while trimming unnecessary complexity. Ellroy's blessing gave the film extra credibility, as fans of the book were reassured by the author's approval. Considering Ellroy's reputation for being blunt and critical, his praise was an unusual and powerful endorsement of the movie's success. Russell Crowe trained with an actual LAPD officer. To prepare for his role as Bud White, Russell Crowe trained directly with a Los Angeles police officer. The weird part? Crowe didn't just study police procedures. He lived with the officer, followed him on the job, and even practiced intimidating suspects. Crowe wanted to fully embody White's tough, physical presence. He also learned how corruption and brutality shaped real officers during the 1950s. This immersive preparation paid off, as Crowe's raw and explosive performance became one of the film's highlights. It was a career-making role, thanks in part to his intense commitment to realism. The ending was almost different. The final scenes of LA Confidential wrap up the story with shocking violence and a bittersweet resolution. But the weird part? The original ending was far more ambiguous, leaving Bud White's fate uncertain. Test audiences reacted poorly, saying the conclusion felt incomplete. As a result, reshoots were done to give the story more closure, including Bud's recovery and reunion with Lynn. While some critics prefer the darker original ending, the revised version provided a more satisfying payoff for audiences. This change likely contributed to the film's strong reception and enduring popularity as a modern noir masterpiece. It lost Best Picture to Titanic. LA Confidential received 9 Academy Award nominations and won 2, including Best Supporting Actress for Kim Basinger and Best Adapted Screenplay. However, it famously lost Best Picture to James Cameron's Titanic. The weird part? Many critics at the time argued that LA Confidential was the superior film, offering depth and complexity compared to Titanic's spectacle. Some film historians even call it one of the greatest Oscar robberies of all time. Still, being nominated alongside one of the biggest blockbusters in history cemented LA Confidential as a true classic of 1990s cinema.